The news has finally broken, guys. We are getting Season 2 for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, and we're getting it early. We are, of course, talking about going over to Ibiza. This is absolutely no secret. We knew this was going to be the next iteration, the next update for the game, but we can now see the devs have brought it forward to December 11th. Bringing it forward, guys, I think this is fantastic. It's more engaging, it gives us something new in the game. Of course, there's a whole load that's going to come with it. In today's video, we're going to dissect it, I'll give my opinion on it and what we can be looking forward to. But as we can see here, we're going to discover Ibiza, a whole new map, new cars, new clan progression, and a new solar pass. And as the devs have mentioned here, we need to stay tuned across the social platforms for more updates coming soon. But when we do jump over to Steam, it actually gives us a little bit more insight of what to expect. Solar Pass Season 1 will come to an end on December 10th, so that's obviously been cut short. Make sure you guys have progressed enough to complete out the Solar Pass before then. Now, moving from there, we can then have a look what's to come next. Starting on December 11th, we will then unlock Season 2. This obviously takes us over towards Ibiza, and we can start to explore the fantastic island that is Ibiza. And this is exciting for me personally. I've of course been to Ibiza a few times in the younger years. I'm sure many of you guys watching will of course have been over to the party island, especially the party side of Ibiza. But this is going to be recreated on a one-to-one scale, much like what happened out in Hong Kong. I'm going to touch on that one a little bit shortly. I have seen some negativity around this. It's absolutely mind-boggling. We're getting a big update to the game, and many people who put content out about Test Drive Unlimited but do nothing but bash the game are now criticising the next part of the game, which we knew was coming all along. A one-to-one recreation of Hong Kong. We're now getting a one-to-one recreation of Ibiza, and they're still complaining about this. I'll touch on that one shortly. But moving back to the news that we have here, Test Drive Unlimited Season 2 offers us a unique and complementary experience alongside the Hong Kong island, featuring new locations to discover, new cars, 20 additional clan progression levels, a new solar pass, and of course much more to be revealed. Now let's dissect that one a little bit. First of all, new locations to discover, fantastic. I'm pretty sure the vast majority of us have already discovered the entire Hong Kong map, completing all the road discoveries, all of the unlockables on the map and stuff. You know, it's added little things like this in the game, which keeps us excited. New cars, and this is something I have been talking about, whether it's new cars of the manufacturers that we already have, or are we now going to get some more manufacturers brought to the game? Are we going to get Mitsubishi brought here, some Lancer Evolutions? Are we going to get Subaru brought into here with the likes of Imprezas and BRZs? Are we going to maybe get expansions to the Nissan, bring in some Skyline GTRs? We can see how this can really start to tumble down and bring even more cars into the game. And I've kind of spoken about that quite a lot with the videos, that I would like to see this expanded out more. This game is in its infancy, and that's what a lot of people are starting to forget. It's 2 months old, so we have to give it time to build. Now, bringing in more cars, it opens up not only the new map, which is of course Ibiza, but it's also going to add to the Hong Kong map that we already have. And perhaps there might be some upgrades coming to Hong Kong. They haven't told us that yet. We need to stay tuned. 20 additional clan progression levels. Now, yes, maybe the clan progression isn't really there for you. For me, it's not been something I've personally focused on. I am now looking to finish off the clan progression before we, of course, jump over to Ibiza. A new solar pass, we completed that one out very quickly indeed. We did, of course, unlock all of the money from that one and the Audi RS e-tron GT. Yes, maybe some upgrades can be put into that one instead of stickers and mini skirts and things like that. I'm sure of you guys will agree. But there's a lot this game still can give us, and I'm looking so forward to what's coming. I am probably one of the more excitable when we talk about Test Drive Unlimited content. A lot of people are very negative on it, and I don't think that should be the case. Yes, I understand some of the negativity, but give this game a chance. Let's see what Season 2 has to offer us, and let's move forward and build this game into being the fantastic game that we all want it to be. Now, I'm going to touch on some of the negative things here. In fact, before I do, one last thing. If you guys haven't actually purchased Test Drive Unlimited yet, this isn't a plug, I don't have affiliate links, but we can see on Steam here, it is now 30% off, down to £27.99. That's a fantastic pickup. Just in case you guys haven't bought it yet, it is 30% off. But I do want to touch on one of the negative things here, and it is some of the content creators that do put content out about Test Drive Unlimited, and they criticise this, that, and the next thing. All they do is look for negativity, and some individuals are actually telling their community that they're only putting they kind of videos up because it gets them the views. Now that's the game, that's YouTube, totally understand it, but it's farming views to make money. Again, it's the YouTube game, I do totally understand it, but maybe once in a while put out a positive comment. This game has so much to offer us, but with people who have influence in the space just doing nothing but criticize it, it's really going to hurt the game going forward. So let's build some positivity about the game. Let's focus on the good parts of the game. The one thing I will touch on is the recreation of the island. How are we going to get there? How are we going to get from Singapore, from Hong Kong rather, over to Ibiza? Well, quickly jumping over to Google Maps, we can see that these things are not next to each other. It is a 19-hour, 20-minute flight from Hong Kong all the way over to Ibiza. So that's going to be interesting. Is it going to be just a montage that we have to go to a port and we just appear in Ibiza? Is it going to be a case you have to go to the Solar Hotel? We get on the spacecraft, the quadcopter, whatever it was we started the map off in. Do we have to go to the Solar Hotel, go to the roof to get on the quadcopter, and that would then fly us over to Ibiza? I think there's a lot to unpack with that one. They could do something quite interesting. You maybe go to a port, you drive on a boat, that takes you over. There's a lot that can do there, but I don't think it's going to be a case that you just drive to a certain point in the map and then you just appear in Ibiza. These things are very far apart. 19 hours, 20-minute flights, literally the other side of the world to one another. So it's going to be interesting to see how they integrate the Hong Kong map over to the Ibiza map. Now, looking at the Ibiza map, what we obviously discussed earlier on was the recreation of 1-to-1 scale of Ibiza. Now, this is one thing that has really got my back up, that people are criticising it. You're going to tour the whole map in 10 minutes, you're going to discover everything instantly. Well, we should have known the actual size of Ibiza. We knew on release of this game that the size of the Ibiza map is the size of the Ibiza map. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to go on Google Maps and take a look at Ibiza. Yes, it is not a big map. How big is the map? It is 571 kilometers squared. It isn't a big map, but there's a lot that can be done inside of this. In particular, we could focus into the excitable part of Ibiza, which I'm sure many people have explored, and that's of course down in towards San Antonio. Yes, the Ibiza Rocks Hotel, the Highlander Bar, Lineker's Bar, there's lots that went on here. Absolutely fantastic island, but as we can see, that's just one very small part of the island, is the San Antonio port. This has got a lot that can offer us, guys. I am very much looking forward to this one. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions onto it. What else could we actually expect to see from the game? Well, alongside new cars, alongside discoverables, there's a whole host that this game can do. Yes, it can maybe integrate an offline mode. I don't think that's going to happen. I do think they are going to constantly target the progression from Web 2 to Web 3, integrating always online. I like it as a concept. It does need some work. We won't get away from that, but there's things that can be done to improve it. Perhaps we could then move forward with a bit of a dynamic weather approach. That again would be absolutely fantastic. Maybe not every race has to be the same weather for every single race, and what we kind of spoke about in the comments section, I've had a great few conversations with some of you guys in the comments section, that perhaps every race could then be unlocked and you go into that race and choose the class. Perhaps there's some hypercar races that you may have wanted to have done in a supercar. Perhaps there's some daily driver races you may have wanted to done in a Grand Tourer. I think if they could open up the categories to make it broad and do any race in any form of car, I think that again would be a huge improvement for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. And then lastly, something else that could be added into the game, which I think would be a fantastic touch, is maybe some form of partnership. Could the game partner up with the likes of an Ibiza Rocks, Linekers or Highlander? Yeah, the license fee may be a bit dear to do this one, but this would be a nice touch. When we talk about the locations that we save our cars, that we load into game, why can we not do something fantastic like load into Ibiza Rocks Hotel right up there in the San Antonio port and on the obviously the party strip? That would be a fantastic touch, integrating some of the real world that we already know and love. Integrate this into the game, have some places to go. I think this would be a fantastic touch, guys, but I'd love to know your thoughts, your opinions, your comments in the comment section down below. What are you looking forward to with the update, which is the release of Season 2? What would you like to see added? What would you like to see taken away, guys? Please let me know in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed today's video, please do smash that like button, subscribe, tap on the bell, all the usual good stuff, guys, and I will catch you in the next video. All around Test Drive Unlimited, Solar Crown.